Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to recognize the difference between fixed and varying quantities within various scenarios, and how to recognize and state the relationship between the fixed and varying quantities. How are we learning it? Through the Types of Quantities notes and Types of Quantities assignment. When can we use this information? To examine the variables that need to be accounted for when beginning a project, such as completing a big project for one of your classes. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the Types of Quantities assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the Types of Quantities notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the Types of Quantities assignment on Desmos. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is to continue working on the Reasoning with Relationship study guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the Types of Quantities notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. First, let's talk about the types of quantities. There are 2 types of quantities. The first are fixed quantities. The second is varying quantities. Now, what does this mean? Fixed quantities do not change. They will always be the same. So an example of this would be the amount of liquid a water bottle can hold, right? If I pour liquid into the water bottle, there may be a different amount of liquid based on how much I fill it, but the maximum amount of water that it can hold does not change. If it's a 16-ounce bottle, it's only going to hold 16 ounces. That's it. It can't hold any more than that. That's a fixed quantity. Varying quantities change. So these are changeable quantities that depend on other factors. For instance, if we go back to our water bottle scenario, the amount of water in the water bottle changes, right? So I can fill it up, that means it's going to increase. I could drink some out of it or pour it out, and it's going to start to go down. So the amount of liquid in the bottle does change, but the size of the bottle doesn't. So understanding the relationships between them, in every scenario in which varying quantities are changing, we can examine the relationship between the factors that are changing and the factors that cannot change. For instance, as time elapses, so as time passes, someone drinks water from a water bottle and the amount of liquid in the water bottle decreases. This is a relationship. We know that 16 ounces is the maximum for the water bottle. It doesn't change. However, the amount of water in it is changing as time passes. So this is how we can state a relationship between a fixed and a varying quantity. Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click Start the Activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log in to Desmos using Google. Let's take a look now at the Types of Quantities assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here that'll take you to the Desmos activity. Let's go ahead and click on that link. And it takes you to a page that looks like this. Go ahead and click Start the Activity. The activity begins with the learning goals and success criteria. We'll go ahead and click Next. It says, for each of the following scenarios, identify the fixed quantities, the varying quantities, and describe the relationships between the quantities. So we'll go ahead and click Next. So this one, a hose is filling a cylindrical pool. The fixed quantities are, so what doesn't change? Well, one thing that doesn't change is the speed of the water leaving the hose, right? That doesn't change. It comes out at the same pace. The size of the pool doesn't change, right? It's going to fill up at a certain point. We don't know when that point is, but we know that it can't get bigger, right? The pool's not going to get larger or smaller. So those are some fixed quantities. Think more deeply, see if you can come up with any others, but those are 2 of them. The varying quantities. Well, the amount of water in the pool. is a varying quantity. How about the available space in the pool? Right? Because as we start to fill it up, there's only so much that the pool can take, so the amount of space that's still left changes. So those are some varying quantities. So how are these related? So we can say that as time passes, the cylindrical pool that has a fixed quantity loses some of its available space and begins to fill with water. Right? So that's just a statement of the relationship. And you'll do that for each of these. So we'll look at different scenarios, like this one, lemonade added to a container containing 5 cups of iced tea. Well, we know that it's already got 5 cups of iced tea, so that's a fixed quantity. The size of the container is a fixed quantity. The amount of lemonade is a varying quantity. The other thing is the blend of the two, right? So when we mix two drinks together, initially it tastes a lot like just iced tea. As we continue to add lemonade, it starts to contain and taste more like a blend. If we get too much lemonade, then the iced tea gets washed out. So the taste and flavor of the blend is a varying quantity. Again, then we'll state the relationship at the end. So you'll do that for each of these until you get to the end. Once you get to the end of the assignment, you'll go ahead and come back to your Google form and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.